I mean, Natalie, of course, Ojiwachiko is still here. Now we delve headfirst into our discussions, and we're looking at what tongues have been wagging about in Nigeria. And of course, that is the controversial aviation crisis, looking at key issues concerning Oshiomhole, K1 the Ultimate, aka Kwam1, and the recent incident with one Comfort Emmanson. Lots of people have been sharing different reactions. No single line of reaction is uniform across Nigeria. Everybody is saying different things, saying one thing, changing to another. Everywhere you go, people are talking about what is happening in Nigeria's aviation sector. Who is to blame? The passenger, the crew, or the NCAA, or even fan that may collect a stray bullet in one of the conversations. Joining us this morning are two very interesting guests who are, of course, in the sector, so very credible analysis we're about to have. We have Mrs. Chioma Obi, who is the MD, Jands Travel Network, and Director, Jands Travel Business School, as well as Mr. Wilson Ugwu, a travel and aviation consultant. I'm so excited about this conversation. Thank you both for being here. Good morning.
Thank you, Natalie.
Right, so I stepped out briefly yesterday just to run an errand, and I sat there, and before I could say anything, everybody started talking about the same issue again. It just started. First ValueJet, then Oshiomhole, and then we have Comfort, everything happening at once. So I don't know who to start with. I wish I could just roll a coin. Okay, great. Thank you for making that easy for me. All right, let's start with you, Mrs. Obi. First of all, tell us about your background, everything that you do, and then your reaction to these three incidents rocking the aviation sector.
Thank you, Natalie. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Well, my background is, I would say, 14 years in the industry, lots of trainings up to IATA. It's not been easy, but it's an interesting sector. Yes, I'll tell you that. 14 years would actually prove that it's an interesting sector. We've gone from the normal travel services, Jands Travel Network, up to noticing that people are clamoring for some knowledge about the sector, wanting to join you. They see what you do, they like what you do, and they also want to come in. And that's how the Travel Business School came in and has grown over the years, 4 years now. And it's we've gone from different stages and we're still going forward. You see, the thing about this sector, it's keyword hospitality. We shouldn't forget it. That's number one. And if we leave that word hospitality, we'll make a mess of everything it is, okay? And that is what is playing out here. When you come to hospitality, first of all, you're talking about customer relationship, you're talking about customer handling, passenger handling, and all that. And in everything happening, or everything that has happened in the past few weeks, months, you find out that we certainly have gaps in the industry that we need to fill. We have questions that have not been answered. We have policies that need to be put in place. So I think there's a lot to be done in the industry that we haven't done. Oh yes, we see other countries blossoming in the travel, tourism, and hospitality sector. It also tells us that we have not started. We are scratching the surface, and we need to do a lot of things in the industry to make things better and to ensure that more employment comes in, okay? Thank you for that question.
Right. But you've gently, you've skirted around the real question here. The answer that Nigerians are looking for. The major incident now is one that concerns Ibom Air. The flight from Uyo to Lagos, right?
Yes.
And even if you look away, I'll still come back to you. So you better stay focused on me so you can get the question.
I'm with you.
So I'm like, this is the major incident. And as this has come up, Nigerians have remembered K1, the Ultimate, Oshiomhole, so it's going around that way. So judging by this objective incident and the context, the subjectives around it that have made Nigerians even say that, no, you people should go and hold this one, leave this one. They've ignored the entire behavior of the young lady and they've turned around to say, you should let her go too, now let her apologize. Why are you arresting her before she can apologize?
Thank you.
Some video surfacing of Kwam1 dancing at an event, so much going on. What is your take on what transpired On that Ibom Air from Uyo to Lagos, the aircraft from Uyo to Lagos.
Okay.
And look, I want to say something clearly before you start.
Okay.
There is no agreement. Everyone's opinion is different.
Thank you.
So this is
Exactly.
your reaction. You cannot agree with everyone. They can't all agree with you.
Definitely.
What's your take?
Thank you. You just said it now, my take. I think that that lady was somewhat provoked. Let's start from somewhere. There are standard procedures to all of this, and I don't see any. Okay? I just see out of the blues, a video comes up from somewhere and a passenger is being dragged, her clothes torn, she is, what would I call it, manhandled, globally disgraced, taken down the stairs by male security agents. Male airport security agents. Now, I know that even if you want to arrest a lady, you call female security agents, okay, to come and do it. By male security agent, and she is publicly disgraced. Her top is, okay, and a lot of opinions about her lifestyle, who she is, and that is out of the question. We're talking about what is happening in a sector that is supposed to be sane. A lot of professionalism is supposed to be showing up here. What happened to customer relationship? Okay? You dragged her down the stairs and then you went ahead to post a video. My goodness. If she was unruly, okay, I understand. If she was insulting, she was verbally abusing passengers, whatever it is they said she did, I'm sure that this, I think that this treatment that has been given to her has covered whatever it is she did. Because how did you handle it? That is my point here. You didn't handle it well.
All right, let's come to you now, Mr. Wilson. Your take, developments, the most recent, what's happened after Kiri Kiri and Nigerians are talking. Your take.
All right, thank you very much. I'm going to approach this from the professional point of view. Just like Madam Chioma mentioned, a whole lot went wrong. And in my opinion, I believe that there's somewhat something we are leaving out. Nigeria is degenerating to the level where people no longer have restraint. I think a whole lot contributed to it. Now people are becoming more aggressive than you can think of. There's so much lack of parental upbringing that makes you behave well in the public. Both parties, like I mentioned, I saw that they lacked it. Because to a large extent, there must be restraint from one person before an issue degenerates to the level it gets to, like what we are seeing. There would have been unrestrained actions from both ends. Because if one party was able to say, okay, fine, I take it, sorry, the whole thing would have ended up. But having said that, to a large extent, we are talking about a professional cabin crew whose one of the lines of training, the point of training for a cabin crew is there's something we call emotional intelligence. You should be able to look at your passenger. Maybe your passenger is distressed. Your job is to ensure that that passenger is relaxed, is comfortable. So to a large extent, even if she flared up, or even if she acted unrestrained, your job is to manage that situation. That's why you are the cabin crew. You are not supposed to aggravate it. So having said that, I'm looking at it from 3 points. One is that let's have an overview of the whole story. The fact is that somebody paid for a ticket and is expected to be taken from one point to another. Now, having gotten to the aircraft and feel relaxed, of course, an announcement, there's a procedure, regulatory procedure inside the aircraft that ought to be obeyed. Let me tell you, man is not given to obeying laws. That's why we have law enforcement agents. Because the truth about it is that he made the law and he would want to do it his own way. So, but there has to be a very given way to approach these things. Even our security agents, why handling things? I remember on a particular occasion when a policeman was slapped up and down, and everybody hailed him because he restrained himself. That is exactly what I was expecting. So whatever transpired, and people are now coming out to tell their own side of story, especially eyewitnesses. But before now, it was only the account from Ibom Air that people were seeing. So we judged the girl wrongly. But people, there must be, there has to be an action for there to be a reaction. So let us look at the action that brought about a reaction. And the girl refused. And she said, I am on flight mode. But the instruction says, put off your phone. But of course, there has to be a middle ground. On flight mode means that every other thing suspended, especially electronically. You can still walk with your phone, but signals are not going out. So to a large extent, okay, fine. Then the aircraft left Uyo.
Yes.
That means she operated her phone all through and got to Lagos. Peradventure, something happened. Of course, people will still tie it to, let's say the plane, in quotes, had issues and crashed. Of course, the girl will be blamed. There was somebody who asked to put off her phone, and she refused. So she risked the life of the entire passengers on board. But like I mentioned, there would have been a way to manage it. So when the aircraft landed, the next thing we would have done was to call the attention of security agents, report the matter. She was coming down, and you stopped her. That was a brief imprisonment, which you don't have the right to do. The law did not give you that right to imprison somebody, no matter even if it's 1 minute. So even if she was leaving, and you call the ASEC or security agent, DSSS or anything, report the matter, of course she will be questioned by professionals. But if you saw the way she was bundled out of the aircraft, you see that the people that did that did it as if they were carrying luggage. Even luggages are given dignity more than what they did.
Like she
was dragged down
personal
the
vendetta.
staircase. Yeah. So, and again, there's a part that people didn't really give attention to. Immediately she came down, you can see that she looked subdued. She had to muster courage to utter, you are laughing. You have achieved your aim. Go and watch that video.
Give me my bag. And give me my phone.
And she started asking for her bag and her hair. So she felt humiliated and disgraced. But like I mentioned, both of them had their parts, and which of course they failed on their own parts. If the girl, of course, saw that the whole thing was degenerating and decided to calm down, maybe take legal action with proofs, it would have. But right now, we are judging who was right and who is not right. Then finally, I also want to bring the way corporate entities manage situation can as well help. Mistakes were made. Being in a hurry to have gone to the press, being in a hurry to have gone to court, being in the press
to post the video
to also not subject it to thorough investigation was not right. So we'll come to that.
I'm sure we're going to come to that, and I would like to just drop this, maybe a drop in the ocean, but why have we not seen any CCTV footage?
Yeah, I was going to ask.
There should be some kind of footage, because right now we're seeing more of accounts by eyewitnesses. One person saying that they should have CCTV.
And we're supposed to have seen that.
Exactly, because that is the strongest case you can make. Beyond humiliating someone, I mean, we should not be looking at phone videos. We should have footage. If one passenger is saying that, oh, I saw when another passenger grabbed the phone and turned it off and she was angry all through the flight. I mean, I want to see that happen. If you're claiming that the air hostess removed her wig and broke the phone, I mean,
that should be proof.
There should be proof.
Yes, if you must go to the court, if you must go to the press, I'm sure you should have
evidence.
Yes, so it now brings the question of
where was the pilot too?
The pilot as well. You know, where is the account that we can all agree on? Because right now everything is, one person's word against another.
Videos, different stories.
Exactly.
And then
they haven't even given her own account.
Exactly. Oji, please go ahead.
We haven't seen her statement.
Yes, statement.
From inception, what actually made blew this out of proportion was one question to switch off the phone. So I want to ask the question: what's the difference between putting your phone on airplane mode and switching off your phone?
I know you were going to come to that.
But let me just throw in something now. still in line with CCTV. Where is the evidence?
Of that?
Where is the evidence
Some
that any...
accounts from the passengers?
Oji, if I switch my phone on airplane mode,
why is airplane
Where is the
mode?
evidence?
Why is airplane mode in the phone?
Off your phone and
So
on
why
your
is it called airplane
No, you're
mode?
not letting me. You're not letting me add this value because we've gotten your question. You're asking why with airplane mode. Why is it there? But the question I have, still in line with proof. Where is the proof that the phone
Was on airplane?
Where is the proof of anything?
That's the conversation.
Where is the proof of anything?
That's how this whole
And
thing
somebody is
started,
in
right?
Kirikiri
It's
somewhere.
that question is that put off your phone, switch off your phone. So my question is, what's the difference between putting your phone? Okay, let's just say
flight
that
mode.
airplane mode.
as she said, that is on flight mode, right? So she can go through her pictures. As she
Definitely.
stated, she was editing video, apparently.
Exactly.
The kind of person she is, you probably know that this person might be a content creator or somewhat. So at that point in time, she said that it's on airplane mode. So I'm just going through pictures of editing
Editing
and all that,
videos.
right? So my question is, what's the difference between airplane mode, putting your phone on airplane mode, and switching off the gadget?
Okay, the truth is that with technology, what we have here as in the mobile technology, of course, they had to add that because they also recognize that when you go on aircraft, you might decide
Want
to
to get
put it
busy.
on.
That's the reason why it's flight
And that is
mode.
Flight
why
mode.
it's called flight
Is there any
mode.
interference if you put your phone on airplane mode and not switching it off? And that's another question.
Oji, but what I'm trying to
But
make,
I've been on international
where
flights.
is the
You can
evidence?
actually
Like,
go
it's,
through your
because
phone. No, the thing
where
is,
is the
model of the
concrete
aircraft.
evidence?
I'm just going by
What's
what she
evidence that,
said.
yeah,
She
I get your
said
point.
aircraft.
But what's the evidence that it was or it was not?
But
We don't even know.
phones
Like she
now
said
have
it.
flight
What?
mode.
How do we know it
They
was
do.
on or it was not? That there are so many facts that are unclear.
Yeah.
Because we're saying, okay, she said it was on airplane mode. But why would it be on airplane mode and she will still be asked to switch it off? Do you understand? So
See,
how
okay,
do
now
we
that
know
brings the
anything?
question to of some of the air hostess being overzealous. Because
Yeah.
I'm going to put this out here as a question too, by the way. She, as she said, an account from passengers, right, that after that, the phone was smashed or somewhat, and the whole week removal from the hair and all that. And then again, she now stood and blocked her from, leaving
Exiting,
the airplane, and the whole video of, oh, she's slapping me, or she's hitting me from the back. Is this woman not manipulative?
But actually, another thing you said too was imprisonment. Was it an imprisonment or was it an arrest? Because the law empowers citizens to actually arrest people. Don't carry out jungle justice. Don't hit people. But you can hold them until the security operators
you
come.
can restrain.
You
To
can
restrain,
restrain
to
them.
arrest. But you can't put
No,
them
you
in
can't
clothes.
arrest.
So how do we justify
The law
whether
doesn't
it
give
was
you the
an
right
imprisonment
to
or an
arrest.
arrest?
No,
Natalie, there's something
you
we're
can
missing
restrain,
here.
like-
I asked you this question. George is not on vacation.
Yeah, and
No,
that's the
we'll
reason
still
why
get to-
apparently her case
Our
probably
judge is
might
not
be
on
adjourned-
vacation.
adjourned to, like,
But that means you had a judge for the person
To come out of vacation and then give the ruling
give
and
the
say-
ruling and
Apparently,
adjourn the case.
vacation courts have been
Yeah.
activated.
Yeah,
Vacation courts are
yeah.
activated. So there's
Okay.
actually a court sitting
Yeah.
Okay.
this vacation
Now,
period.
why the rush?
That's the question. That's a big question.
Where's her statement?
That's exactly where I
Where's
said
all the
that.
investigation? Just like what you said, a lot of things have not been investigated. We've not seen anything, and somebody is already in Kirikiri. I don't understand it. Okay, I think that Ibom Air. I'm not sure they were quick enough to measure
Exactly. That's
the
where I'm
extent
coming from.
this was
Would
going
have
to go.
gone.
Okay, I'm not sure they sat back to watch the impact this has on the brand Ibom Air.
That's where the brand
That is where
communicator.
brand image comes in.
Comes
Okay,
in. The person would have
how do you
advised
think
otherwise.
people will view? Excuse me, Nigerians know how to be sympathetic. Oh.
That's what's
Yes,
going on right
and that is what is playing out right now.
Okay, because this lady, right, you want to hold me against my will and don't expect me to react because I've looked around. Nobody is standing.
You pushed her back twice.
Everybody's against me. So if that's reaction to all those actions, right? I would say I might even do worse, right? Because you're holding me there. You're holding
sure,
me there.
yeah,
Nobody's
yeah.
coming to save
Yeah,
me.
sure.
I have to save myself.
Yeah, sure.
So you against so many men dragging you off the airplane.
I hope you know that the standard procedure is you call on the operatives 20 minutes before the airline
Airline arrives.
lands. hold on.
Yes,
Then
and they'll be
you
there.
call the security
They're meant
operatives
to
to come.
wait.
Everybody
When it
sits
comes
in
like
the
They have
plane.
waited.
Right.
So,
You
but
call
she
the
restrained
security
her for so
operatives,
long.
please, female,
And
we're dealing with a
said-
female,
and the
to come in
passenger's account
and handcuff her
said that
and then take
you
her
have
away
to
before
push
every
her.
other person comes down.
Yes,
They had to
that's
push her
it.
to
But they
hold
pushed her to hold
for
her.
other people to pass.
Look at that.
So all this,
What they would have done was
all
to
this
leave
stuff
the
that happened.
aircraft closed until security agents.
Why would she react the way she reacted?
Yes.
You get?
She's human, please.
Why would she react the way she
She's
reacts?
human.
But this brings the question of, is the aviation industry institution right now trying to save face as IG has ordered probe into Kwam1, because everybody was saying this online that this is going to bring back this, like he's not going to go scot-free. This is going to bring back that incident that happened just a few days ago before Comfort, and because he apologized and they're like, oh,
Everybody.
he's human, forgive is divine, and all that. And he went
Because she's not a politician.
Assuming they gave that punishment, or somewhat punishment to Kwam1, I wouldn't see this incident happen. And first, assuming when Adams Oshiomhole did what he did, and there was a punishment, I wouldn't even see Kwam1 do what he did and Comfort.
Yes. Very true.
Exactly. Let me take it from this angle. You know, a whole lot actions that we take is actually determined by things surrounding it.
Right.
And to a large extent, when that of Kwam1 happened, I felt it was quite extreme. Do you know what it means to hold a flight
Ransom.
Ransom.
Actually, it's a treasonable offense. I have had a situation whereby it happened. Okay, we saw the film Entebbe. Yes, and you saw how Israel took action over it, because of course you risk the life of people who are inside the aircraft. So I think to a large extent, we need to begin to at least reorientate our people. There's so much we need to do in terms of mind building, making people understand, like somebody was saying, that of course you won't take this away from the way the society has gone.
Right.
Yes.
And you've established that point. But let's now also try to reflect another side of society, because you've made your point clear. You condemn the actions of Ibom Air. They did it wrong. They were unprofessional. They should have had a security crew on ground and not handle things the way they did. Because it shows the gap in everything in that sector.
In the sector.
Ultimately, you did not have handcuffs. There were no handcuffs. You are restraining her with your bare hands. There were no handcuffs. There was no female operative on ground to actually, because this is the way these things are done. You see it in action movies all the time. That was not done, right? So you are there with your bare hands, grabbing someone's bodysuit, doing this one.
You drag her down the stairs.
You drag her down the stairs. We've not even talked about that part. Then, you don't have anybody. You prepare to land on water. You prepare for the oxygen mask to fall down, but you don't prepare for a hostile situation. You don't prepare for an unruly situation.
Yes.
So let's try to reflect on what aggravated this matter. First off, the issue of the phone. Being told to switch off the phone, whether it was on flight mode or not, it was not turned off. And the simple action of turning it off at that point, because you don't know why they're saying that, you don't know how bad the conditions are, you don't know how bad the weather conditions are, you leave it there. And like I was trying to establish, we don't have proof of anything. We don't know if it was on flight mode. No passenger has come out to say that, yes. It's possible, because I was listening to radio this morning and I heard an account of someone say that a man refused to turn off his phone. He kept on sending WhatsApp messages while the plane was taxiing. That's another isolated situation. And the passenger beside him was anxious. Turn off your phone, and he refused. He said he was about to stand up and really give the guy a fight, but he decided not to give him that fight. Eventually, he did do the needful. But essentially, we don't know whether it was on flight mode, whether she was using, nobody knows what she was doing on the phone, but she didn't turn it off. Now, according to an account, a passenger had to physically take the phone and turn it off. We can't confirm that either, but that's what they're saying. And then we also know that she allegedly used a fire extinguisher to start destroying parts of the plane and continue to fight, to slap, and to hit. I mean, such provocation.
That was not right.
Right. So there are people watching this program, and yes, I'm referring to those people who believe that her behavior was out of line, that she acted inappropriately, she acted rudely, she was unhinged. Can we speak to the behavior? Can we speak to that behavior?
There's something I need to point out here. You see the issue about switching off phone or putting phone in flight mode. I think all of this is done before the aircraft takes off. I have also seen a video where a man who, same thing you talked about, was escorted, the aircraft had to taxi back, and they escorted the man out, removed his bag, okay, and took him out. That is correct.
Yeah.
That's
I saw that video too.
Okay, so you took this lady from Uyo.
Down to Lagos.
You landed in Lagos
Safely.
safely.
But there are people on the aircraft that said that when the plane landed, she started to, that she carried that annoyance, and then when it landed, she reacted. She carried that. People that are like that. That's what they're saying. I wasn't on the flight.
When it landed, yes.
Right.
That is the more reason why you shut the doors and alert security.
First.
If she didn't turn off her phone before takeoff, please onboard her. There are ways of dealing with unruly passengers. I don't cancel what she did, okay? Even though right now there are a lot of conflicting stories. I don't even know what to believe anymore. But I feel that every aircraft has a recorder. Why have I not
seen anything?
Yeah, we've not confirmed anything, and somebody is already being jailed. That's my point here.
Right.
Okay? I think that these procedures make it possible for people to not be judgmental or sentimental and all that, but come to it from an objective, a professional and an objective point of view. But because we haven't seen the procedure we're supposed to see, everybody is just throwing tantrums.
Okay. And we're going to have to end on that note, because sadly we're out of time for today's morning show. And it's an emotional time in Nigeria. A lot of heightened reactions. Now, I guarantee you, there is no point to agree. There's no point. We're going to just agree to disagree on everything.
So that was the tension at this point in time. I bet it's best that they let this lady come out. They should drop all the cases against her. Right, then let's review.
Yes.
Oh yes, I saw
that conversation from Adam's Oshiomhole to Kwam1 and her too. She's not meant to go scot-free because she right. So, but then again, this punishment should go round. You know, because you're a politician or a celebrity, you have to go scot-free.
There is one thing that this has revealed. You see, there are actions that reveal. It's just like what ERC and the EDC and the main power debacle, when they slash tariffs, we now realize that, we could have been benefiting from the FG subsidy. This has revealed that they do not have any training for handling these hostile situations. And that's an aviation-wide gap. A huge gap. So I'm going to charge consequence management. Mr. Chilaka, that's a shout out to you. Now, I'm going to end with this call out to Ibom Air to stop these tongues from wagging and to stop these reactions from overflowing.
About this institution, this airline.
I think there's a statement from the...
I think they're complaining about the air hostesses, not the whole airline.
Not the whole airline. No, but they represent the airline.
Accounting is not too cool.
The hostess.
People keep complaining about
the hostess.
The hostess.
All right, we're out of time now, but I'm going to charge Ibom Air to release the CCTV footage if there is even a camera on board. Let's see how things escalated. Who is to blame? Whose wig was ripped off? Whose phone was smashed? Who did what to whom and with what effect? Release the footage so that we can have peace and return to Chivido and talk about that. All right, that brings us to the end of Afia Morning Show today. Thank you for staying tuned. And of course, thank you for your patience once again with Afia TV as we continue to try to unravel these network issues that we're having. Engineers are working around the clock. We ensure you a better viewing experience as the day progresses. I remain your host, Nathalie Uku.
My name is Oji Mwachukwu. Have a great day. Bye for now.